Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. I am going to shout out everybody that's in the building early, all right? We got Katsy in the house. We got John Guillory in the building. We got Al McGowan up in here. Shout out to Miss Nisi. We got Win Loser Rug in the building. We got Jerry Bedford. Shout out to you, bro. All right. Shout out to everybody who is here. It's good to see each and every one of you. All right. So how many people heard about what happened in South Carolina? Because an announcement has just come out. And what that announcement is that what happens in South Carolina won't stay in South Carolina. And what, like we've said before, modern Nikki is still in denial. She's still in denial. She still thinks she has a chance to become the president, guys. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people honestly believe that Nimrata Randhawa actually has a chance to become the president of the United States in 2024? If you guys are on team Nimrata, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you're on team reality and you're like, ain't happening, then give me a thumbs down. Sorry to anybody that's on team Nimrata. I happen to be on team reality. I don't think that it's going to happen. But I think that it's interesting that she's staying in the race. Don't you guys? It's weird. That's why I want to follow this thing all the way through and see exactly what's going on. Now, we're in a bad situation because the only two people that we have as of right now, as far as front runners go, looks like Joe Biden and Trump. Here's my question. Regardless of who wins, we lose, right? What does the next 4 years look like? That's what we should do. In the AI art generator, we should type in draw 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. Migrant crisis, wars, economy. Shout out to the economy. If you're a cryptocurrency holder, Polygon went up over $1 today. Ethereum is sitting nicely at 3,100. Bitcoin damn near about to hit 60K. Shout out to the cryptocurrency scam. How many people in the comment section have been scammed by cryptocurrency? Please give us a testimony of your cryptocurrency horror story, because cryptocurrency just keeps reverse scamming people. It just keeps making people rich. I've never seen a scam quite like that, except for, WS. WS is the scam that keeps making particular people rich, but not everybody. You know what I'm saying? So let's check out Nikki Haley in her denial, shall we? Let's see what she talking about. We got a little article here from CBS News, and she's doubling down on her promise to stay in the presidential race. Let me ask you guys this. At this point, would you all just say that Nikki Haley is trolling? Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. What's good with it? If you guys would say at this point, Nikki Haley, you're trolling, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that she's trolling, let me know what y'all think that she's doing. She got some type of grand grand scheme. She got some type of grand plan. What's your plan, Nikki, huh? What's your plan?
Good evening, and thanks for joining us on this Sunday. Tonight, former President Donald Trump has his eyes set on Michigan this Tuesday for what he hopes will be another win after sweeping the primaries thus far. His challenger, Nikki Haley, is defying calls to drop out. At last check, her campaign says she is planning to head to the Great Lakes state after suffering a major blow in the very place that elected her twice as governor.
Oh, man. What do you think it's going to look like for Nikki Haley in Michigan is my question. Now, I don't know if anybody has seen, I watch a lot of content on politics, but YouTube is giving out a lot of views for quote unquote Trump path to victory videos. So as soon as I get some time, guess what kind of video I'm going to post?
Well, here are the numbers. With nearly all the votes counted, Trump won South Carolina by about 20 points. Nicole Skanga joins us tonight with the details on just what you're hearing regarding what's next for these candidates. Good evening, Nicole.
Good evening, Jerika. Another decisive win for former President Donald Trump for the GOP frontrunner. It's also another hurdle cleared in that long road to securing the 1,215 delegates needed to clinch the Republican nomination.
In Columbia, South Carolina, former President Donald Trump declared victory, sweeping his fourth straight primary by double digits.
Wow, that is really something. This was a little sooner than we anticipated.
Leaving his opponent, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, and her home state advantage thwarted.
Today in South
let me ask you guys this. Why did Nikki Haley think that she had a home state advantage? Seriously. Why did she think that? Did she think that she has a home state advantage? What do you guys think? Yeah, I got to agree. Delusional. This is the height of delusion. You're seeing it right here. Let's continue.
South Carolina, we're getting around 40% of the vote. I'm going to count it. I know 40% is not 50%.
But still defiant.
But I also know 40% is not some tiny group.
Roughly 800,000 South Carolinians voted Saturday.
Listen, if you are playing a game and somebody beats you 21-20, you still got beat. Would you guys agree? You still got beat. You're getting beat. Why do you guys think that she's staying in the race? See, because if you ask me, there's got to be some other reason other than the obvious of why she's staying in the race. Why are people still giving her money? Shout out to Lewis Knowles. Shout out to Lois Guy 9. Lois Guy 9 says she's prepping for VP. That's interesting. I don't know if Trump would really be interested in using her as the VP. She might think that she has a chance to be the VP. I gotta kind of agree with Katsy here. Shout out to Katsy. I gotta kind of agree. Shout out to Kale. Kale says she's staying in because this is a like button for her. Yeah, I agree big time on that. Katsy says, yes, but she isn't trying to win. She thinks Trump will be convicted and she will have the nomination. So basically what she's doing is she's trying to play the last woman standing, like Denise says. Shout out to, if you guys agree with Katsy and Denise, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate each and every one of you all for being here. We got 21 people watching and we got 17 likes. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button and get us to 30, that'd be great.
Trump bested Haley among most key demographic groups, winning majorities of both men and women, plus all age groups, according to CBS News exit polls.
I thought that Nikki was a stronger candidate in a lot of ways, and we needed a new generation.
Despite an unclear path to victory, Haley has doubled down on her promise to stay in the race as her opponent faces multiple legal challenges.
The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population.
Boo! I'm going to need to see some proof of that. Where's the numbers coming from, Trump, that black people embraced your leather-faced mugshot? Let me ask you guys a question. How many people in here, quote unquote, embrace Trump's mugshots? So what I want people to say, shout out to Carlton, because I already know what Carlton about to say. Carlton about to say, the Maury population embraced the mugshot. Which they probably did. Would y'all agree? The Maury, we gotta talk about the Maury the Maury sector, right? The Maury sector absolutely embraced it. We over here embracing villainy. The Maury sector definitely embraced the mugshot. They definitely embraced the mugshot. I bet you Trump got like about 2 million sitting on the JPay right now, just from the Maury sector. You heard Sexy Red. She said, "Shit, I'm in the vote for Trump. Chill." She said, "Booty hole brown, Trump white, Trump 2024." Dumby. Booty hole brown, Trump white, Trump 2024. Dumby. You're dumb. The Maury sector is dumb. The Maury sector could use some of that unnamed flammable fluid. You know what I'm saying? Would you guys, if you guys agree that the Maury sector could use some of that unnamed flammable fluid, and I'm not talking about in their barbecue grills, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, we definitely don't need that extra weight on the plane. You know what I'm saying? Definitely don't need that extra weight on the plane. We're going to go into Trump making that statement a little bit later. Now, because I'm curious. I think that Trump might actually have a point when he says, quote unquote, the blacks embrace my mugshot. But you know which blacks I think embrace his mugshot? I think black conservatives embrace his mugshot. I don't think the majority of black people embrace Trump's mugshot. I think the black coons, the black conservatives embrace his mugshot. Because black conservatives in most cases are former Pookies and washed up pro-blacks. They're people who are degenerate failures, who are outraged and want to project their failure onto everybody else. And the only way that anybody will listen to them is if they go in front of white people and talk about how they failed at life and project it onto all other black people. Because we all know that when it comes to most conservatives and most washed up pro-blacks, they've all failed. They've got a rap sheet. They're scammers. They want your money. And they say more negative things about black people than Fox News. Trump really messed up when he said that MAGA needs to distance themselves from Charlie Kirk. I don't think that MAGA should distance itself from Charlie Kirk, because I think Charlie Kirk is the MAGA poster boy. I think that if Trump wanted to actually appeal to black people and he actually had knowledge and didn't base himself off of stereotypes, he would have said MAGA needs to distance itself from black conservatives. Because let me ask you guys the difference between a Charlie Kirk and an Officer Tatum. What's the difference between Charlie Kirk and Greg Foreman? One of them is more susceptible to osteoporosis. One of them is more susceptible to skin cancer. That's about it. Aside from that, they're the same. You got more Officer Tatum's, Candace Owens's, and Greg Foreman's than you do Charlie Kirk's. At least the ones that wear it on the outside like that. They for the most part, probably most of them got it on the inside. But it's a select circle of few that proudly wear it on the outside. But now let me ask you guys, who's more of a internal issue to black people? Larry Elder or Charlie Kirk? Officer Tatum or Charlie Kirk? Thomas Sowell or Charlie Kirk? Who's more of an issue? We automatically assume that the majority of MAGA is like Charlie Kirk. So if people are going to go with MAGA, if they're going to vote for Trump, you already know that there's people amongst the ranks like Charlie Kirk. And for whatever reason, you've come to the decision that I understand that there's people like that amongst those ranks. However, I'm going to vote this direction because I see these policies as more beneficial than these racists are harmful. Okay, I guess I can see that. But what I can't see is why Trump wouldn't call out black coons. Because the thing is that you can't say that you don't agree. You can't say that Charlie Kirk is bad for the conservative party and then turn around and say that Officer Tatum, Candace Owens, and Larry Elder are good for the conservative party when they say worse stuff about black people than the white people do, because the white people have the fear of being canceled, which is one of the reasons why the black conservatives exist, to be a surrogate racist for white people. A surrogate racist. How you guys like that terminology? I've seen Urban Dictionary steal my terminology and give the credit to other people. I've seen the Urban Dictionary do it. Don't do it again. Because you don't want to make me mad. Because I'll tear this bitch up. I will. I'll tear this bitch up. Oh, man. I'll tear this bitch up. Oh, man. Shout out to DeAndre, man. Make sure y'all show DeAndre some love. Make sure y'all follow the instructions in there. Hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider becoming a channel member. This channel is not qualified for memberships yet, but like the great Yoda said, it will be. It will be. Okay? But if you like the content and you're subscribed to other channels, the membership links to the other channels are in the description box. All right. All the memberships, lowest tier, only 99 cents. You could get 4 times the access to membership content across the BLR network that you can only one channel of membership network, membership access on other channels. Right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DSB. What's good with it, bro?
The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population.
That's feeding right into a stereotype. That's definitely a negative for Trump. Now, that right there, if you ask me, that should be enough for people to be like, I'm not voting for him. Here's why. Isn't that right there what Trump just did? What Trump just did right there, isn't that the very reason why the other leather-faced earthworms sit there and tell you to, quote unquote, get off of their grandparents' Democrat plantation? They always leave that part off. My grandparents. Why don't you get off the Democrat plantation? They always forget to say my grandparents' Democrat plantation. But isn't that the exact same thing that the Democrats did? Isn't that a bias of low expectations? I can't relate to a mugshot. I don't like people that get mugshots. I think a lot of pookies are the biggest forms of coons. Yeah, I gotta agree. Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Both parties do this, right? But what's going on now is that there's a lot of people who are so anti-Democrat. Now people have taken the emotion of fear, and the emotion of fear has overcompensated into an emotion of anger. And it's, I'm going to vote for the Republicans just to say F the Democrats. And it's like you're doing the same thing. If you vote for Trump after doing this, this tells the Republicans that all you have to do is say something ignorant and they've got your vote, which is the thing that people have done for the Democrats for the last 60 years. That has allowed the Democrats to just take the vote for granted. So now people are attempting to correct themselves while making the same mistake. It's fascinating to watch. And I agree with you, Patrick. The vast majority of blacks aren't criminals and have never been arrested. Exactly. Shout out to Carlton Wade. Carlton says nobody wants to talk about Pookie being a coon. Facts. There's a Pookie to pro-black pipeline. A lot of them Pookies are so ashamed of their past that they want to try to shame everybody else about their blackness. So they come up with a bunch of nonsense to say. Tell you who to vote for, and they got 3 felons and can't even vote they damn selves. Sit your ass down somewhere. Back in a jail cell, preferably. Piece of shit. Instead of running from the law, you should have ran down your mom's leg. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. When it comes to Pookies, instead of running from the law, they should have ran down their mom's leg. You know what I'm saying?
Aim at the former president for comments made in front of conservative black voters.
Trump drives people away, including with his comments just yesterday.
Haley now heads to Michigan.
So now Nikki Haley is outraged about Trump's comments, but she's not outraged about her own comments about slavery. Shout out to Lunch. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, facts. Shout out to DeAndre. That's big facts. That's because they go in thugs and come out Nation of Islam. Facts. They come out selling bean pies and telling everybody about Allah that we don't really care about. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not saying that you can't reform yourself. I'm not saying that. Because if I said that all people like that were bad, I'd be talking greasy about Malcolm X, and I'm not. Clearly, Malcolm X is a shining example. You know what I'm saying? Of somebody who did the right thing. Right? I'm talking about these scammers. These people that have not done anything monumental and only use that kind of stuff to try to get money and influence. That's who I'm talking about. Somebody that'd be like, oh, Rob sit up there. Malcolm X used to be Detroit Red. Well, if you didn't have ADHD, you'd have listened about 10 more seconds and I'd have addressed that. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people that do reform themselves, but you guys know the scammers that I'm talking about that don't. Because there are a lot of good people, a lot of good community activists are former Pookies, especially people up in Detroit doing that, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing up there. Definitely not talking about people that actually are putting in on the ground work. Not talking about them. I want to make that clear. I'm talking about the people that weaponize this kind of stuff and just use it to clock a grip. Because they know that people are vulnerable, preying on people's insecurities and instabilities. That's bogus. You know what I'm saying? Nikki Haley is outraged for us, ladies and gentlemen. She is outraged for us because of Trump's abusive comments towards black people. How do you all feel? I feel that Nikki Haley should atone and deal with her own anti-blackness before she calls out anybody else's. And as far as I'm concerned, Nikki Haley is just another example of what I always tell you guys about. When you see one white person calling out another white person's anti-blackness, side-eye the one calling out the anti-blackness harder than you do the one getting called out, because it's all suspect. 9 times out of 10, when you got a white person pointing out another white person's anti-blackness, that means that they're both guilty. And one of them is just trying to make the other one look worse so that they can either get you off their back or get your support. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Did you see that? He called that person an N-word. Then when you look this person up, they got a EEOC lawsuit because they fired every black person working at their company. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Shout out to Ron. What's good with it, Ron?
Before the state's primary contest Tuesday.
Onward.
Michigan is just one of a dozen Super Tuesday states voting on March 5th. Now, Haley has vowed to stay in the race until then, when over 1/3 of the Republican delegates will be awarded. Sharika?
That's right. 16 states up for grabs there. Nicole Skanga, thank you.
All right, so there's that. Excuse me. So there's that. All right. So we got an article here from Washington Examiner. All right. And it's basically reiterating the same thing. It's basically reiterating the same thing. All right. Nikki Haley refuses to drop out after South Carolina loss. Today is not the end of our story. I'll tell you what, Nikki, you say today is not the end of our story 50 times, and guess what? Candyman's not going to come out, but it actually is going to be the end of your story. You can only say today is not the end of our story so many times until, yeah, there's no more pages in the book. Would you guys agree? Yeah, she pulling the "it wasn't me" tactic. And I gotta agree. And see, shout out to Patrick. That's why I keep asking the question, what's really going on here? Patrick says she wouldn't be able to stay in if the establishment was against her. I agree. And that's why I keep saying, what's really going on here? What is really going on here? Any other time you'd be out of the damn race. What's going on? But this election looked different. Man, Nikki Haley hard-headed. She's so moderate she won't even listen. I just keep losing votes. Every night, every state I'm in. I don't know why I can't win. I want to know how to win. Shout out to Field Mob. I'm so sick of losing votes. Every state I'm in. I just can't win. I want to know how to win. Man, tonight seemed different. Nikki Haley, she's so hard-headed, man. She modern and she won't even listen. She losing every state. She getting irate. And Trump dumb told her, girl, you not that great. Oh man, that's the I'm so sick of being lonely remix. And she is sick of being lonely because Trump asked her last time where her husband was at. She'd be kissing and dancing with the pig. Facts, with the straw hat on. Oh man. Oh man, her husband ain't around. She don't know how it's like to be loved. Oh man, what happened to good hip hop music like that, man? What happened to good hip hop music like Field Mob and Nappy Roots? Oh no, hell no, boy. Y'all done up and done it. What happened to the good hip hop, man? And they said that the South killed hip hop. Man, stop it. The hell? How does South kill hip hop? Somebody explain that to me. Somebody explain to me how the South killed hip hop. Make that make sense. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick said he was just listening to Nappy Roots. Man, listen, bro. Nappy Roots, Speed Not Mobsters. You know what I'm saying? That, bro, listen. Shout out to PD That Remains. Bro, I was listening to Young Buck from Psychodrama the other day. I'm a misunderstood nigga. I'm a misunderstood nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Psychodrama. How does South mess up hip hop, man? I'm going to tell you who messed up hip hop. I'm going to tell you who messed up hip hop. I'm going to tell you who messed up hip hop. I'm going to put it up there again. Yeah, that's who messed up hip hop. But anyway, that's a hell of a tangent, ain't it? Oh, people mad. People don't like when people say New York messed up hip hop. Look at that. Look at the numbers going down. When all the artists sound like Nas and Prodigy from Mobb Deep, and they all Swagger Jack, Raekwon, and Ghostface. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a white dude, Fat Joe, going around saying the N-word unchecked. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, I don't think. Now, people be talking about the culture vultures, right? And then there's guests. I think that it was mainly only them white Latinos in New York that was using the N-word. The white rappers that came out of other places in the United States, I'm pretty sure they caught Eminem when he was young saying the N-word, but when he got into the mainstream and he was with Death, or when he was with Interscope Aftermath, he wasn't saying that N-word all like that. Look, shout out to Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor said, "Nah, Rob, Fat Joe is black." That's what he said, but then he said he's white. Look, and Fat Joe also said that he lied in 90% of his rhymes. He said that to Angie Martinez. Yeah, son, you know I was sitting up there lying in like 99% of my rhymes. They got a Dunkin' Donuts commercial where I guess J-Lo got like some new project coming out or something like that. They got Ben Affleck choreographing. Yeah, now shout out Lunch. Yeah, Young Buck, you know what I'm saying, from Tennessee. He dope too. You know what I'm saying? I rock with Young Buck. I mess with the whole G unit. Shout out to 50. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about Young Buck from Chicago. The one that was on Adrenaline Rush with Twista from Psychodrama. I'm too much for the industrialist. On the brink of getting up some dismantle the duck some. Man, he killed that. I'm gonna just take that nerve from you, then think what I'm on the verge to do. And I got the urge to let semis close your curtains, fool. Man, he killed that. We the worstest. You look about 9 millimeters below your hearses. Release them things. What? Man, Adrenaline Rush. Woo. 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 Man, listen, man. It's disrespectful that Twista's not in the GOAT argument. I don't care what none of these clowns say. I'm Midwest to the core. You know what I'm saying? Twista is in every GOAT argument. You know what I'm saying? Twista, Do or Die. You know what I'm saying? AK and D-Lo from Do or Die. What? Man, stop it. Twista is one of the best. Bro, Twista is one of the best. Even when he raps slow in that song Mob Stability, bro, the Speed Knot Mobsters is underrated. He said they find the body adjacent to shell cases. Chicago ain't a city, it's a nation. What? Man, stop it. Stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it. They trying to say that the other spots messed up hip-hop, man. Gone somewhere. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put it like this, man. I'm going to put it like this. If the South and the Midwest messed up hip-hop, why is the West Coast and the East Coast trying to sound like us now? You go get one of them people from Memphis, you know what I'm saying? You go get one of them people from Chicago and put the album on right now, and it sounds just like the music that's out now. We ain't never tried to sound like any of them other people from the West Coast or the East Coast. They sounding like us. And it's been, and from the time when the shift happened, it's been that way. It stayed that way. These cats now, they sounding like Bone. They sounding like 3-6. They sounding like Gangsta Pat. How many people know about Gangsta Pat? From Tennessee. People like KRS-One want to sit there and talk about, you know what I'm saying, that is intruders in hip-hop, man. Going somewhere with that mess, man. I don't know why people from New York think that the only shit that's popping and going on in New York, like New York is the only city with some shit going on in the entire country. Same thing with people from the West Coast. People be tired of listening to that East Coast and West Coast nonsense. Anytime it's a period of stillness in hip hop, somebody from not New York comes out and blows up the charts, whether it's Nelly, whether it's Bone, whether it's Outkast, whether it's whoever. When people get tired of listening to NWA and the Death Row Family Tree, and when people get tired of listening to Word is Bond, son, somebody from somewhere else come out and skyrocket. And then you got Fat Joe trying to make a song with him and shit. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Let's talk about Chameleonaire and Crazy Bone. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Chameleonaire and Crazy Bone. Let's talk about Po Pimpin'. Let's talk about Outkast, 8-Ball, MJG, Master P, Cash Money Records, Mystical, UGK, you know what I'm saying? Scarface, Hand of a Dead Body Days, you know what I'm saying? The Diary, Crucial Conflict, Facts, Smoking on Hay, Lil Flip, Game Over, you know what I'm saying? Slim Thug, Mike Jones, come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Tell Tila, Facts. That's what you talking about, Kevin? Tila, Facts. Shout out to Carlton Way. Facts, man. Lil Jon, Jadakiss was all over the Southern remixes, but I rocked with Jadakiss though. You know what I'm saying? The Lox always been one of the groups from New York I like. You know what I'm saying? The Lox, 50. And what's crazy about it is that the Lox and 50 was jewels that they had in New York, and New York wasn't even rocking with them until, you know what I'm saying, they start rocking with other people from other localities, which show you that the talent scouts in New York didn't really know what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Facts, DMX. The whole Rough Riders was dope. And one of the things that made the Rough Riders dope was that they was one of the first rocking with cats from the South. Rocking with cats from the Midwest. Shout out to Lewis, International Players Anthem. Fact, man, Mr. Big, Mr. Big. They call me Mr. Big. Coming out hard, 8-Ball and MJG, man. What? Man, stop it, man. Go on somewhere, man. What? You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to Jadakiss, man. Jadakiss, my dude, man. I rocks with the Lox. You know what I'm saying? Chic Styles and Jada. You know what I'm saying? But Beanie Siegel lit him up, though, man. Beanie Siegel won that battle between him and Jada. I was mad about it because Jada, that's my dude. But Beanie Siegel whooped that ass. He said, I sun kissed like a soda. It was over in the first 8 bars. It was over in the first 8 bars. And I can't stand Rockefeller Records, man. I can't stand Rockefeller. But Beanie got that, though. Beanie did that. He whooped that ass in that battle. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like saying that. I don't like saying that. But Beanie whooped that ass. He told Jadakiss up. He would have been done in the first 8 bars. You know what I'm saying? But anywho. but anywho, let's get back to it. You know what I'm saying? I had to get on that, man, because I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'd be tired of the old overrated ass East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, when it comes to the East Coast, the cats that actually should get shine don't even get shine. Like, you got Nas from the East Coast, and you still got people talking about Biggie and Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, Nas is an East Coast GOAT. Shit, AZ is an East Coast GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Fabulous the damn LeBron James of rap. Fabulous got crazy longevity, and he don't get brought up in none of them conversations. Are you serious? I damn near grew up on Fabulous, like actually literally grew up on Fabulous, and he's still coming out with hit songs today. And he's not in any of these conversations as far as GOATs and shit like that. Like that's that East Coast shit. That bias shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that bullshit. I'm glad that other regions is getting a shine now. You know what I'm saying? They should have been getting a shine. Everybody should have been able to get a Gangsta Pat album back in the day. Man, Breathe is still dope. I can't deny it, still dope. That song with him and Roscoe Dash. Bro, Roscoe Dash, bro, what? Roscoe Dash was too far ahead of his time, bro. If Roscoe Dash was never out and he came out today, he would be the top. He would be on top. Roscoe Dash like came from right now and got stuck like in the early 2000s, and they wasn't ready for that type of music yet. Like Roscoe Dash was the nigga from the future and shit. You know what I'm saying? Roscoe Dash was the actual future. You know what I'm saying? Not the Percocet geek with all the baby moms. You know what I'm saying? Roscoe Dash was the actual future. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Nikki Haley refuses to drop out after South Carolina loss. Today is not the end of our story. How many not the end of our stories is it going to be before you admit that it actually is the end of your story? That's the question. So we're going to skip this because I think that PBS article summed it up pretty well. You know what I'm saying? And because we got on a hella long tangent about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And what was crazy about the hip hop tangent is that a lot of people left while we was talking about the hip hop tangent, which is actually good if you ask me, because that means that people actually want to hear some shit about politics. So you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. shout out to y'all for leaving during the hip hop part, because that's what you're here for, is to hear about politics, not to hear me rambling about hip hop. So you know what I'm saying? We're gonna listen to what Nikki Haley had to say here. Yeah, I gotta agree. If you guys agree that Roscoe Dash was a pioneer of today's rap, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. He absolutely was, if you ask me. He absolutely was, if you ask. Man, his album was lit. It was one of the few albums that you can buy and play all the way through, just like Twisted, Speed Not Mobsters, you know what I'm saying? Do or Die. See, that's the difference between people from the Midwest and the South versus people from the West Coast and the East Coast. When you from the Midwest and the South, those albums can be played all the way through. Every song, for the most part, can go on the radio and be dope. Tell me a song that you would skip on a Bone Thugs and Harmony album. I'll wait. Tell me a song that you skip on a Do or Die album. I'll wait. Tell me a song on Twista, Adrenaline Rush, or Kamikaze, or Twista and the Speed Not Mobsters, Mob Stability, that you will skip through and wait. You skip through half the CD on Capone and Noriega. You know what I'm saying?
There are huge numbers of voters in our Republican primaries who are saying they want an alternative. I said earlier this week that no matter what happens in South Carolina, I would continue to run for president.
Hey, look, hey, shout out to DeAndre. Shout out to DeAndre, because DeAndre bring up a good point. DeAndre said Eminem can put words together, but I can't relate to killing my BM and taking my daughter to the beach with her in the back seat to get rid of her body. Great story, though. Here's my thing. That's one of the reasons why I don't really be so mad about Eminem, because I don't know if you've watched my Surviving the Suburbs series or if you've watched my Familicide series, but that shit that Eminem be rapping about, if you're white and you're not rapping about that sick shit that Eminem is rapping about, the pills and deleting your family, I don't know if I can call you real or not. We just did a story on BLR1 about a white dude from the suburbs, white America, that had his dad's head in a turkey baster bag. That's that shit Eminem be rapping about. That white boy keeping it real. What Martin say? That white boy keeping it real. I don't think no black people be rapping about no stuff like that. Except for them crazy folks like Tech Nine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Eminem rapping about that familicide that they don't talk about on on Fox News. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, it'd be different if he was rapping about slang, you know what I'm saying? You know, the drug dealer, you know what I'm saying, slinging dope, pimping and all that. Nah, he rapping about the stuff they do. Trailer park girls around the outside and all that. He rapping about what go on. It's crazy how Fox News ignores that though. You know what I'm saying? Ain't it crazy how Fox be missing that part?
I'm a woman of my word. South Carolina has spoken. We're the 4th state to do so. In the next 10 days, another 21 states and territories will speak. They have the right to a real choice. Not a Soviet-style election with only one candidate.
So, so check this out. So did y'all hear what Nikki Haley just said? She said that the race with Trump is a Soviet-style election with with just one candidate. Now, that's interesting that she used that as her choice of words, right? Because one could go as far as to say that the way that they trying to prosecute Trump to get him out of the election, where do Putin's competitors be at? Where do Putin's competitors be at, y'all? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. We got 22 people watching and we got 33 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 50, that'd be great.
And I have a duty to give them that choice.
Well, listen, her team's saying she's going to be in 7 different states over the next 10 days. She's powering through. She said what she had to say last night. There's not really any better spin to put on it than to say, you know, somebody who's running is virtually an incumbent, Donald Trump getting 60% and 40% being against him. That's not a mandate, especially with the entire Republican Party apparatus behind him, with most elected Republicans behind him. Now it's
shout out to Jab Bad. What's good with it, bro? Right, exactly. That's what be happening. That's what be happening to the competition over there in Russia. Yeah, homeboy had a blood clot at the coldest prison in Russia that he just randomly happened to be at. Yeah, okay. Sure. You got the autopsy. We lost the papers. All right.
unclear what a path could look like for Nikki Haley. I think we're all very open-eyed about that. But she is underscoring the fundamental weakness of Donald Trump, and it should be a 5-alarm fire for the party. But for some reason, it is not.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you all see Nikki Haley exposing any weakness in Trump? I don't. She got beat really bad. She got beat really bad. So I'm not exactly sure what weakness it is that she's underscoring, but apparently she's underscoring some type of weakness. Now, shout out to The Hill. The Hill came out with this article, 5 takeaways from the South Carolina GOP primary. We're going to take a look at this here and see what they're talking about. All right. Former President Trump won an emphatic victory in the South Carolina primary Saturday, vanquishing rival Nikki Haley in her home state. The race was called for Trump within moments of polls closing at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With 83% of returns in just before 10 p.m., the GOP's front runner margin of victory stood at 21 points. Now, let me ask you guys this. Based on these numbers, with these numbers that you see on the screen, what weakness is being exposed? I don't honestly, when it comes to the GOP, Trump versus Nikki Haley, I don't see any Trump weakness here being, except for, I don't know, I guess if getting too many votes is somehow a weakness. The only exposure that I think Trump has is the legal issues that he has right now. Those could cause him significant issues, clearly, if he were to get, found guilty. And a lot of the financial issues, because they're giving these judgments on a lot of the stuff that he has going on. But other than that, I'm curious as to what you guys think. And also, real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed on Twitter to M.A.G.A.TRON 645, please make sure you guys take a moment to subscribe to that Twitter account. It's very important. The bots will put the link to that Twitter account in the chat. Make sure that you guys are subbed up on Twitter. All right. How many of you guys in here are subbed to M.A.G.A.TRON 645 on Twitter? If you guys are, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, give me a thumbs down. If you didn't give me a thumbs up, then make sure you hit that link when the bot puts it in the chat. The Michigan primary is set up Tuesday, and then March 5th brings Super Tuesday, when more than a dozen states vote. Here are the main takeaways from the Palmetto State primary. All right. Make no mistake, Trump will be the 2024 Republican nominee, barring some utter cataclysm. I agree with that. I think that that's probably going to be the case. And I agree with that, not because, oh, I'm just a Trump supporter, because that's what the numbers are indicating. That's what it seems like, according to all numerical indicators. I don't mess with X, DeAndre. The only reason I use Twitter is to stream. You know what I'm saying? That is so people can get an extra notification or either watch it on Twitter. That's it. I don't mess with it, bro. I can't deal with it. It's too much insanity going on over there. And people be doing them Twitter spaces. I don't be feeling like hearing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the former president is 4 for 4 in primary contests so far. Here in South Carolina, he hammered Haley in the state where she twice won election as governor. At Trump's victory speech in Columbia, the degree to which the state's GOP established and had rode behind him was clear. Senator Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham both spoke briefly on his behalf, as did Governor Henry McMaster. Haley spoke to a smaller crowd in Charleston, alone on stage. She continues to press the case that Trump is unelectable in November. Now, let's get a small poll on this in here. How many people feel that Trump is unelectable? Shout out to Carlton. That's facts. If y'all agree with Carlton, Twitter is so toxic and full of misinformation. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. John said, I listen to Twitter spaces when I'm at work overnight. Some are informative, but a lot are wild. Yeah, a lot of them are wild. A lot of them just talk about absolutely nothing too. Like you just sit up there talking about nothing. And my thing is, I'm not the content police. I'm not the content creation police. There's a lot of people on YouTube and a lot of people on all these social media platforms that for some reason they think that they should be the determinant of who makes content about what. Me personally, I could care less what you make content about. It'd be nice if it was something of some value for me, but I realize that everybody's not making content geared for me. So I try to find the stuff that interests me. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people on YouTube, man. They'll make whole entire videos of what kind of content they think people should be making. Like, you don't work for YouTube. Why are you trying to dictate what people should be talking about versus what they shouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, it's wild, man. Like, it's I be listening to the content police, to the content creation police sometimes, and I just be like, damn, that's crazy. Like, so you just think that you should be the end all be all and the boss of what kind of content people should make on YouTube? I'm gonna tell people something, man. Listen, man, don't nobody give a fuck what anybody say about what kind of content they gonna make. We gonna make whatever the fuck kind of content we want to make. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This kind of shit, this YouTube shit and like this little cult shit is some weird shit to me. Would you guys agree? The YouTube cult shit is some weird shit. I'm gonna make content about whatever the hell I want to make content about. If I want to make content about some green blueberries tomorrow, guess what? Guess what? There's going to be a stream about it. Yeah, I got to agree. Shout out to Jab Bad. Jab Bad said these lames are in positions of perceived authority these days. Facts. And a lot of these people, the reason why they act like that is because they know that the likelihood of an internet confrontation is very low. If it was a real life confrontation and standing face to face, in most cases, most of these people would not say the stuff that they say to anybody on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Or any social media platform. Oh, nigga, you dumb as hell. Oh, that's cool. You said that to Blacklight Revelations. Say it to Rob. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody about to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just wild, man. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't come at people like that. You know what I mean? That's how you know, like, a lot of these people on YouTube, as street and as thugged out and as gangster as they be trying to act like and sound like, don't none of these people have no street smarts. You heard Mike Epps. Mike Epps said the realest shit in the world. Ain't nobody playing nowadays. Ain't nobody playing nowadays. You think you gonna walk away unscathed saying some comment section shit to somebody's face? That's why people say the shit in the comment section, because they don't have the experience of actually saying some shit like that to somebody's face. So they want to feel good about themselves. Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre said, say it to Rob before he had his black coffee from Extra Mile. Facts. Say it to me after I haven't had no sleep, or after I've been, because see, like, I'm one of those people, bro. I get overwhelmed by talking to too many people. Too much stimuli irritates me. Like, if I gotta be talking to people for a long time, I start getting annoyed. So I gotta have my time where I'm just alone for a little bit to defuse. Mess with me on a day where I haven't had my alone time, I'm tired, and I haven't had no coffee. That's not a good combination. I can't even control myself at that point. You know what I'm saying? I need my alone time. I need my coffee. I need my sleep. You know what I'm saying? I need my sleep. I need my alone time. You know what I'm saying? So Nikki Haley believes that Trump is not electable in November. But according to The Hill, there's no real reason to believe her argument will gain traction with the GOP voters elsewhere when it has failed to do so here. That's not necessarily a failing of the former governors, but simply reflects the GOP base remains enamored of Trump. In every state so far, the former president's margin of victory has been in double digits. The battle for nomination is all over, bar the shouting. So now, this is what we know. We know that Haley's not quitting. She's one of those type of people that would have to be walked off stage. She's one of those. How many people watched Late Night at the Apollo? She one of them people that Sandman will have to yank off the stage with his little hook. Would y'all agree? If y'all agree, give me a thumbs up, man. Sandman taking Nikki Haley off the stage. Get your ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? A few weeks ago, there were real questions as to whether Haley would pull out of the race before South Carolina's primary. Then Trump allies predicted a heavy defeat here would bring an end. It didn't. Haley's speech in the Palmetto State amounted to an adamant declaration that she will battle on at least to Super Tuesday. She earned one of the biggest cheers of the night when she noted her previous promises to keep going on and added, "I'm a woman of my word." You're yeah. 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 I'm gonna just say yeah to that. Her rationale is that she is not going to give up the fight when so many Americans are unearthed about a matchup between President Biden and Trump. So Nikki Haley is using the Charlemagne tactic. Would you guys agree? Nikki Haley sitting up here using the Charlemagne tactic. It's going to work for her about as good as it works for Charlemagne. Haley ratcheting up her rhetoric suggested such a bilious race would mean that America will come apart. Do you guys notice how it's always the verge of apocalypse if we don't support one or another candidate? It's always the verge of just a complete and entire system meltdown. The United States is going to come unraveled at its hinges. No, it's not. No, it's not. The former governor had her best fundraising month so far in January, so she has the resources to keep going. And she has her ardent supporters. She has her ardent supporters too, albeit not enough of them to really loosen Trump's grip on the nomination. One supporter here, Neil Parker, told the Hill that Haley should stay in as long as she has the money to keep the lights on. I kind of disagree. So now the Hill is saying that the GOP is now the MAGA party. I disagree with this. And the only reason why I disagree with this is because the GOP, if you ask me, has always been the MAGA party. When has the GOP not been the MAGA party? They're declaring that at this particular moment in time, the GOP, quote unquote, has become the MAGA party. I don't believe that the GOP has become the MAGA party. I believe that the GOP has always been the MAGA party. Shout out to Cameron Jones. What's good with it, bro? Would you guys agree? And I got to agree with Cameron. Trump's not picking her for VP. It's not happening. I'd be extremely shocked. It isn't just Trump's margin of victory that shows his dominance of the party. It's that most Republican voters in South Carolina share his entire worldview. I agree with that. And as we saw, one of his worldviews is that black people are impressed by mugshots. That's his worldview. Would you guys agree that it's MAGA's worldview that black people, us and our us and our simple minds, are simply impressed by a mugshot. Well, what do you have for us? A mugshot. You got my vote. That's all it takes. Now, we got to ask the tribunal question. When Trump says that black people are impressed by his mugshot, is he speaking for the collective of white people? What should we do with that? That's my question. I'm dead serious. What should we do with that? Who is he speaking for when he says that? We got to handle that. We got to deal with that. We got to ask that question. What do you guys think? The Associated Press VoteCast voter survey showed, at least in its early results, that around 6 in 10 GOP voters in the Palmetto State oppose continued U.S. aid to Ukraine. That was bad news for Haley and striking in a state with a strong military tradition. Around 7 in 10 GOP voters in the state accept Trump's argument that the various investigations into his conduct are attempts to undermine him, according to the survey. Given those numbers, it's no surprise that around 6 in 10 Republicans here consider themselves to be supporters of the MAGA movement. The GOP, for good or ill, is Trump's party now. If you ask me, it's been Trump's party. The power shift, if you ask me, occurred when he first got elected, and it continued after he was elected. The GOP was making moves on Trump's behalf. Look at what happened with Liz Cheney. So I think that the GOP has always been Trump's party. Once Trump was elected, the GOP became his party. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with you, Brooklyn Queen? And real quick, shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have not smashed the like button yet, wherever you're watching from, please take a moment. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. And also make sure that you are subscribed to the M.A.G.A.TRON 645 Twitter account. All right. Also, I got a question for you guys. Would you guys like to see clips from these streams posted as well? If you guys want clips from this channel here posted, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. Trump's rhetoric still raises red flags for the general election. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. Actually, I'm going to ask you guys something. Can you ever expect non-black voters to stop supporting a particular person, candidate, or business because of expressed anti-blackness? That's my question for you guys. Let me know what you think. Can you ever expect non-black people to stop supporting somebody as a result of expressed anti-blackness? If you ask me, the smart thing to do would be to notice that when somebody expresses anti-blackness, expect their support to skyrocket. So when they talk about Trump's rhetoric raising red flags, this is rhetoric around issues that white people may or may not have. Any rhetoric that Trump says about black people, whether it's true or whether it's false, we have to understand that a small percentage of black people and virtually 100% of non-black people will see it as fact, even if it's not fact. And we just have to deal with that reality. The reality is, to non-black people, any negative statement made about black people is fact, regardless if it's fact or not. Would you guys agree? So we just have to deal with that as a reality. And I think one of the reasons why people have had so many issues moving forward and navigating in the political realm and dealing with a lot of the people is that there's a lot of people that just refuse to accept those deficiencies in others. For some reason, people tend to, I don't know, they really want to make other people seem as if they have some type of standing with us, and they don't. They haven't proven themselves. The questions about Trump's electability in November won't go away despite the margins he racks up in Republican primaries. That's not only because of the 91 criminal charges he faces, it's also because of his propensity to inflame. Not like old boy did in front of the Israeli consulate, but that's neither here nor there. He displayed that tendency once again on the eve of the primary here when he addressed the annual gala of the Black Conservatives Federation on Friday. Trump said Black Americans had embraced his mugshot and very clumsily sought to suggest Black voters would see common ground regarding his indictments. So basically what Trump is saying is that Black people can relate to Trump allegedly being misindicted the same way Trump misindicted the Central Park Five. I can relate to Trump because something is allegedly happening to Trump that Trump also did to a group of 5 Black men. Yeah, that's so relatable. Sorry, not sorry. I don't relate to that shit. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I can't get down with it. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing anybody can say to get me to get down with it. You guys remember what I said from the beginning? To provide full support to the GOP has done too much damage to the Black image. Fox News, New York Post, in my opinion, for Black people at all to be considering giving them any kind of support whatsoever. But there are some people that do see a net positive in voting for him. So, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the vote police. I'm not the political police. I'm just a content creator that gives my opinions on these things. All the people that are, you know, just giving Trump a free pass, right? He said this. Where's he getting this information from? Do you guys notice that when it comes to when people make statements like this, they never have to prove? What survey did anybody take where Black people said, yeah, Trump, we rock with you because you got a mugshot? I would go on a limb to say there's more Black people that don't rock with Trump because Trump did the white people thing with the Central Park Five. You know, that white people thing that they do? When you're Black, you're automatically guilty. Trump did the white people thing with the Central Park Five. I think that there's more people that don't rock with him because he has a tendency to do that than there are people that rock with him because he's got a mugshot. Because he made some Omega sci-fi doggy style boots. Trump should have sold them Q-Dog boots to Kamala Harris so she could stomp with her Soros. Now, I don't know if those Soros would be AKA or George Soros. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying. So now here it says, I got indicted for nothing, for something that is nothing, Trump said. So I want y'all to examine this sentence. Now, people always talk about babble, but don't nobody ever talk about Trump babble. So I'll talk about Trump babble since nobody else will. I got indicted for nothing, for something that is nothing. Nothing can't be something because nothing is nothing. So how did you get invited for nothing, but then it's for something that is nothing? Because there's no such thing as something being nothing, because nothing means the absence of anything. The hell? Somebody make this make sense, please. So then he says, and a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against, and they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing, but possibly maybe there's something there. I mean, this dude he's insane. That's why we call him M.A.G.A.TRON. According to Trump and according to GOP, systemic racism and systemic injustice doesn't exist. So if black people relate to you by something that your party says doesn't exist, then any black people that relate to you on these bases are simply gaslighting you by your own logic. Would you agree or would you disagree? Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor said, man, he's being advised poorly. I bet it's someone black. I bet you that Trump is thinking with that brain under that blonde toupee he has on. And I bet you the only one advising him is his primal urges. Oh, man. He needs to stop listening to instinct. Because y'all know about them instincts. Them instincts to get them folks to say some stuff like that. Stop listening to your wild side, Trump. Oh, that's right. I forgot. The only side that motherfucker like you got is a wild side. My bad. I forgot the only side you got is that werewolf side. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. So now here it says the following morning, Haley blasted those comments after casting her ballot in Kiowa Island, South Carolina. It's disgusting, but this is what happens when Donald Trump goes off the teleprompter. Honey boo boo. Honey boo boo. We're gonna call Nikki Haley we're gonna call Nikki Haley sweet long fingers. Excuse me, sweet long fingers. He wasn't reading no damn teleprompter. He was reading the thoughts in his head. You know what I'm saying? He was reading off the thoughts in his head. He wasn't reading off no damn teleprompter. Come on now. Come on now, Sticky Nicky. Let's cut the games here. Of course, one more controversy won't peel away supporters who have stuck with Trump now, but his rhetoric, often uncouth at best, hampers his chances of winning over persuadable voters. I disagree. I completely disagree. His rhetoric is I honestly think that his rhetoric is one of his positive things, right? And here goes why I think it's one of his positive things. There's a lot of black people, right, out there who are not like me and don't feel that the best place, that the best type of WS is the type that's in an urn or a casket. They're not like me. They don't believe that. They believe that the best type is the type that shows the anti-blackness outright. Okay, fair enough. That would be a selling point for Trump then, because all of his ignorant shit, he just says it. He don't hide it. So regardless of how negative the media may try to make it, that he says just off the hook stuff unapologetically, regardless of what side of the aisle you sit on, to me, that actually has proven to work in Trump's favor. Would you guys agree? It's almost to the point where it's expected that Trump will say some crazy shit, and people are actually waiting for the next crazy statement. We just know that it's Trump. shout out to Carlton Way. Yeah, some people prefer in the face instead of in the urn. I don't know how you can, but you know, again, I'm not the police. I'm not the laws. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the laws. I'm just BLR. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, see, a lot of them WSs, they like Robert E. Lee. See, I like my WSs like Robert E. Lee because he doesn't exist anymore. See what I'm saying? I like them one with oblivion. Like Robert E. Lee. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Haley's attacks could hinder Trump beyond the GOP base. I doubt it. You know, one thing that these articles haven't addressed, and I want to ask you guys what you guys think about this. They haven't addressed the inability to stop the cratering Democratic support of black people. Now, if the Democrats are losing all of this black support, if they're hemorrhaging and bleeding black support, right? I would say about 50% of people are voting couch 2024, and the other 50% could possibly vote M.A.G.A.TRON 2024. Do you guys notice how there's not been any intermediary to try to stop that shift from occurring? My question for you guys is, why do you guys think that nobody's trying to stop any of that? I don't think that they can. But I'm just curious as to what you guys think. Why they're not trying to stop any of that. What do you guys think? In her speech Saturday, Haley objected to Trump's use of the term vermin to describe his political opponents. Damn, he called his he called his political opponents vermin, man. Damn, Trump, wow with it, man. In the days leading up to the primary, she said Trump could not win a general election and accused him of having sided with Russian President Vladimir Putin in recent comments about NATO, characterized him as a narcissist, and mocked him for never having served in a uniform. Has she ever served in a uniform other than a French maid? Has Nikki Haley ever served in a uniform other than a waitress uniform or a French maid? I highly doubt anybody would want to see her in full body latex, but there might be somebody out there that might want to. She ever served in that? Trump allies want Haley out of the race in part because of the damage she could cause with those kinds of comments. I think that Trump's voter base is already locked in. I don't think it doesn't, nothing matters. Nothing negative about Trump matters to his voter base. His locked-in voter base, nothing is going to change their mind. He could go out and cuss all of them out tomorrow. Nothing's going to change their mind. I think the only thing that would make all of the locked-in voters of Trump change his mind is if he said, I'm going to sign a check for reparations for foundational Black Americans. And even if he did that, I think that he might only lose about 25% of his support. But then that 25% of his support that he might lose, he might mess around and get like 90% of Black people if he did that, but he's not doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, these are hypothetical situations. Yeah, unfortunately, Patrick, I agree with you. Patrick said, I believe it when I see it. I still think Biden will get at least 80% of the Black votes. I agree 100%. How many of you guys still think that Biden is going to get at least 80% of the Black vote? Now, here's the thing, right? 80%, if he did get only 80%, that's still a significant decline from like, what was it like before? 96%. That's still a significant decrease, but that's still way too much. I mean, at what point do you start asking serious questions? Serious questions. I mean, what are you voting for Biden for? I hate to say this. This is going to sound really bad. Some people are just dumb. Would you guys agree? Some people are just dumb. And what I believe about dumb people is that dumb people should be treated like they're dumb. Dumb people should not be treated like they're intelligent. If there's people that are just dumb, they should be distracted with stupidity so that they don't interfere with what the intelligent people are trying to do. So if you are an idiot that spends 90% of your time on the couch and you saw a Democrat commercial and you think you're going to just get up and vote blue no matter who, sit back down on the couch so that we can cash app you $10 so you can smoke a blunt and forget about going to vote that day because you're an idiot anyway. So instead of messing up the election, just continue to mess up your brain, which is what you would have done anyway had you not seen that commercial. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I know that sounds messed up. I don't care. I don't care. Something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. It is to the detriment of the larger society to not treat stupid people like they're stupid. See, some people believe that everybody deserves. No. You know what I'm saying? No. Everybody deserves. No. If you're an idiot, you deserve. Here's your blunt. Sit your ass down. Don't mess up anything. Don't touch anything. Just sit your stupid ass there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Patrick. Patrick said, man, you got the Arab community threatening not to vote for Biden and the Arab rep in Congress saying don't vote for Biden, but compare that with blacks, and it's shameful how detrimental this is for us. That's one of the reasons why initially I had talked about the Israel-Palestine situation. I did a stream. There was an article from NBC a couple months ago where they talked about how all of because Michigan has one of the largest Arab communities in the United States, and how those people were not going to vote for Joe Biden. This is common sense. This is common sense, y'all. If somebody's doing something to harm you, you know what I'm saying, or they're not doing something that you need them to do, you don't support them. It's common sense. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree this is common sense, give me a thumbs up. If it's not common sense, then give me a thumbs down. We got two issues. For one, there's a underpopulation of people with common sense. The second thing is that there's a lot of people who literally have no loyalty to the best interests of Black people, and they will go and toot up for whoever's paying the highest paycheck instead of developing a situation to where we can be paying ourselves the highest paycheck. Now, you got to ask yourself the question, what develops those situations? Yeah, see, there you go, Pat. That's exactly what I was getting at. Patrick says, then again, the Arab community, and who knows? I don't know. I'm not in the Arab community. I don't know if those people are, and I don't have matter of fact, think about it. I don't have any Arab friends. And that's not because I have an issue with Arab people. I just don't happen to have any Arab friends. So I never really had a political discussion with anybody Arab to know exactly what kind of issues they have facing their communities other than what I see on the news. And my thing is, I assume that the news only reports white people stuff accurately. I assume that the news reports non-white people's issues in a way to get support behind white issues. So I don't necessarily believe that everything that they report about Arabs or Latinos is necessarily accurate. You know what I'm saying? So they could have some bootlicks. I'm not entrenched enough into their politics to know whether the people that they have are bootlicking or not. But what it does seem like is that regardless if they're bootlicking or not, they're at least advocating for some type of political unity. Whereas we're just our alleged representatives, which aren't representatives at all, just want us to do things that will increase their paychecks. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Now, people are jumping away from the Democrats right into the same thing with the Republican Party. Trump saying this ain't nothing but symbolism. Well, how come nobody's calling this symbolism? See, like, we get to the point, it seems like, where there's a lot of extremism. And when I say extremism, I'm not talking about running around with, you know what I'm saying, explosive devices and stuff like that. I'm talking about there's never a middle ground. It's either one extreme or another. I'm going to jump out the window for the Democrats, or I'm so angry at the Democrats, I'm going to jump out the window for the Republicans to make you feel what I'm talking about. Nobody's going to feel what you're talking about except for you. You know what I'm saying? I said this from day one. I don't think that the Republicans should get anybody's support on a wide scale, because the Republicans have done centuries of image damage. And before they even get considered, they should have to do image repair. Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor says, Rob, one of our biggest problems is that we allow idiots to have a voice and a say. Why do you think that is? Why does anybody think that is? But now here's the question. I don't necessarily think that's the case though. Let's take YouTube as a micro market. If you ask me, more black people tend to congregate on YouTube when it comes to what they watch as far as the news around black people who seem to be politically intelligent or black people who talk about politics. Whether they're politically intelligent or not, I can't be the judge of that. And I believe that that's because on YouTube, there's actually a market where black people have a choice to be able to watch the black content creator that they want to talk about the issues that they want to talk about. In the mainstream media, that option doesn't really exist. Yeah, but here's the thing, Patrick, what you're not taking into consideration is that those of us, we're a minority. We're not the majority, bro. We're a minority. I don't know why, but like everybody on YouTube thinks that like nationwide, this YouTube shit is like the national discussion. It's not. The actual national discussion is the majority of people voting blue no matter who, and then us who would be the small fringe element. YouTube creates an echo chamber. If you sit there and listen to Black Light Revelations all day long, you're going to think that most people are like Black Light Revelations until you go out and have an actual conversation with somebody right in your own household or right in your own family that'll put you right back into reality. You know what I'm saying? The majority of people, see the way that the majority of people are out here calling black people people of color. The majority of people who are sensitive in comment sections on YouTube would get their asses beat if they try to jump on somebody about calling people of color the way they do on YouTube. You know what I mean? So here's my thing. If we're the minority, what we got to do is we got to understand that we're the minority and we got to try to increase our numbers. But I think what ends up happening is that a lot of people that watch social media content believe that the social media mind state is the majority mind state until they actually talk to somebody off of social media. And then they realize, oh, these people still saying people of color and vote blue no matter who, and think that there's some type of black and brown coalition. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's important to this is one of the reasons why I believe that it's important for us to get our own metrics, our own data, our own numbers. Because we always will sit there and say, well, these numbers that Gallup or these numbers that Pew Research got, these numbers aren't right. But we sit there and say that these numbers aren't right without any numbers to compare them to. Or we look at the research model and be like, okay, well, what 5,000 people did y'all use? You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor said, I've seen too much foolishness from blacks. Example, just sitting in the barbershop will wake you up to the reality that we're in the minority. Have you ever sat in a trailer park or have you ever sat in Skid Row? Neely Fuller Jr. said one of the reasons why our data is skewed is because Neely Fuller Jr. said this. All black people do is sit around and look at other black people. So if you're at a barbershop with other black people, you ever see the conversation at Best Cuts? Here go my question. How many people have ever, quote unquote, sat down in these other communities? Anybody in the comments? I'm not just talking to Patrick. Anybody? Does anybody have any white friends, any Latino friends, family members? Y'all ever sat around, chopped it up with some, you know what I'm saying, white people and shit? Black, you know what I mean? This ain't Umar Johnson's live stream. I'm not going to shame you for being interpersonal with other human beings. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking for survey purposes. Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media. TD Hip Hop Media said, I only got black friends. You know what I'm saying? Big B1 in the chat for TD Hip Hop Media, or TD Media Group, my bad. Hey, Carlton Wade just put the megaphone in front of his mouth. He said, attention chat. Attention chat. We are now moving into the off code section of we're now moving. Shout out to Lewis Knowles. Shout out to you, bro. B1. Carlton just said we're moving into the off code section of the stream. Carlton said, attention Kmart shoppers. Attention Kmart shoppers. We are now moving into the off code hour. I repeat, we are now moving into the off code hour. I got a lot of white friends. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of white people at the high school that I went to. I went to a predominantly white college. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white people have a lot of people in their family who deal with the opiate epidemic. There's a lot. There's a lot of white people who deal with a lot of health issues that rack up a lot of money. Now, why do I say that? I say that because if you're involved or have some issues with the opiate epidemic, in most cases, you're probably not making really good decisions. So the reason why I say that is because I think that in many cases, a lot of us are hard on ourselves because a lot of times we don't have a point of reference of dealing with other people to actually know what goes on over there. But I can tell you, the grass is not greener. I can tell you that. But if you get your information with people that live in a bubble and an echo chamber, you'll never know that. Or if you get your information from people who are just conservatives, you'll never know that. I can tell you that there's a lot of internal family turmoil in many cases when it comes to splitting up all that good white money. You know what I'm saying? Families fall the hell out. That's kind of crazy because I would, if I had the kind of money that a lot of these people have, I would never fall out with my family, man. I'd just be happy to get my million and keep it pushing. Like, hey, shit, that's what's good. Peace. Y'all can go ahead and argue about the other 200 million. I'll take my million and I'm good. I'll make the other 200 million on my own. You know what I mean? But how would you see, like, these other groups of people, they constantly doing news articles about us. Black on black crime in Chicago. All black on black crime on Chicago. Single mother rape. Ah. When the last time like, I'm the only person that be talking about familicide. So this is my question, right? If we're comparing ourselves to others, what is the metrics? And the thing that I find interesting is that because of the rules and classifications of quote unquote being pro-black, it's going to be difficult for anybody to collect any data. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just goes off of assumptions. Well, what goes on in the white community is that everything is all good over there. It's not. But I'll just listen to the pro-black people who say that we shouldn't deal with black or white people to give us information on people that they've never interacted with. How does that make sense? Like, I need somebody to help me understand how that makes sense. I'm supposed to get primary information about other groups of people who have no reference data or interaction data. Where are you getting your data from? White people don't never worry about a damn thing. Where's the data coming from? Because Fox News said it. Okay, so now all of the anti-black information that Fox News has, I'm getting fake information about white people as well. But I'm supposed to listen to the fake information about the white people and not listen to the inaccurate information about black people. Someone make that make sense. How do you come up with a data model with that kind of methodology? I'm supposed to listen to hearsay. How do we get that kind of information? This is why I asked. Patrick had brought up, I've heard barbershop conversations. Has anybody ever heard best cuts conversations? Has anybody ever heard raisins in the potato salad conversations? Has anybody ever heard any firsthand information? Any takeaways? So my question is, where are we drawing these assumptions from? Yeah, shout out to Carlton Wait, Starbucks conversations. Now, you know, TD got all the inside information at the Starbucks conversations and all that. You know what I'm saying? But so if we don't have access to this kind of data, where are we getting our data from? Where are we getting it from? Where's our information coming from? Are we just going off of assumption? Because we need information integrity, right? We need accurate information, right? So where's it coming from? See, they got Pew. Shout out to Jab Bad. Jab Bad said depictions in the movies and on TV shows. How many people think that those depictions are accurate? You guys remember that movie, Save the Last Dance? And I think it had Julia Stiles and Mekhi Phifer in it. Remember how broke Julia Stiles' dad was and he lived in the hood? There's a lot of stories like that. That's actually really realistic. Especially like in places like the Midwest, places like Detroit, places like Cleveland. So where are we getting the data from? Shout out to Carlton Way. Carlton Way said the memes are pretty accurate. Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media. You know what I'm saying? We know TD gets a lot of his data from Twitter. His words, not mine. But seriously, this is my question. Does data integrity not matter? Does it matter? If you're trying to collect data because you have a goal that you want to meet, or you have a project that you want to accomplish, or you have a mission that you want to achieve, you need accurate information. Like if you want to eventually send some type of spacecraft to the moon, you can't just eyeball the distance between the Earth and the moon and say, it look like about a rock throw. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get there with that type of inaccurate information and that kind of estimate, not based on a hypothesis. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kiko. Kiko says, yo, owning a barbershop and trying like hell to make this very point to so-called smart, educated people every day is crazy, and I'm exhausted, bro. I get it, bro. I get you. I get it. You know what I mean? It's almost, it's sad, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Do you, like I got a friend, a coworker, and she's Asian. You know what I'm saying? And she talks about the self-hate issues that they have in that particular Asian community. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you never engage with one of these people, you would never assume that this shit is real. Because based on the propaganda and based on how they got people trained, we're only supposed to just look at ourselves and see ourselves as just negative and bad and different from everybody else. You'd be, aside from the anti-blackness and aside from the economic injustices and racial injustices that we dealt with, as far as just on the surface level, these people out here are not perfect. They're not living in heaven, and they're not that damn smart. And I'm not saying that as a jab at anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that to like tell people, don't put yourself behind the line so quickly. You'd be surprised, most people really want to talk to you. Most people really want to see what's on your mind. And believe it or not, most people will feel the most comfortable with you. Until when people from other ethnicities are not around the other ethnicities, they'll always try to find some black people because they feel the most comfortable around black people. Now, whether that's a good thing or whether that's a bad thing, It's not reciprocated, so I would say that it's a bad thing. But what that goes to show is that we must not be that damn bad. So why do we see ourselves as that damn bad? Is the question that we got to ask. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see, shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre said it's funny that people from other communities who come into our community with good faith have the same epiphany. Yeah. But you would never know that living in an echo chamber, being an isolationist, never having conversations outside of your echo chamber. I'm telling y'all, and I told y'all from day one, I engage with other people. I talk, I chop it up, kick it. And I don't really ever interview anybody. People would just start running their mouth. You know what I'm saying? And then I run back on YouTube and tell y'all. you know what I'm saying? Seriously. So again, I got to ask this question. Where are we getting the data from with these other communities? If you ask me, we should, and I've always said this, we got to start collecting our own data. And we got to start collecting data on other people. Because they collect data on us all the time. And that data is worth millions of dollars. How many people ever heard of the the data mining business? If you've ever heard of the data mining business, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't, give me a thumbs down. That data is priceless that they get. They get it from YouTube. How you think they know what kind of ads to send you? They get it from Twitter based on the feeds that you watch. Now that they got the artificial intelligence running the algorithms, they can get even more information, more detail. We got to start doing that. If we keep saying that the information that people say about us is incorrect and we never have any counter information, how are we going to do it? You know what I'm saying? Amazon, Google. Yeah, facts. Shout out to Kiko. Kiko says, I literally have a client that's a president of a well-known college, and brother, that's a long haircut. Oh, I bet. I bet. We got to do this stuff. If I'm telling you, if we did half the stuff that I be talking about in the live streams, all the stuff that we be trying to do, it would flow so much easier, so much faster. So much easier, so much faster. And here's the thing. We're capable of doing it. It's just a matter of, do people want to do it? Or do people not want to do it? Either way is people's own sovereign decision. But realize the implications of the decision that you made. And don't go back on the decision. Or don't try to turf off the decision as something else. If it's the decision is to not get the data that we need or to not get information integrity, that's fine. But say that. I didn't get it because I didn't want to get it. I didn't get it because I didn't see it as a priority. That's fine. But don't say that there's another reason that you don't have the information. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jab Bad. Jab Bad says, sharing this kind of information about other races and keeping a secret our own info should be the standard, like the latest trend. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Literally, most information that most people have about most other races is literally just where does it come from? I hear people on YouTube all the time talk about, quote unquote, in the white community. But then if you ask these people, like, where do you get your information from? Like, how do you know this goes down? Literally nobody ever has any kind of firsthand information. They'll say it's something that they saw on social media or something like that. In the white community, they eat pasta out of the toilet. Well, where'd you get that information from? TikTok. Okay. Okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. You know what I mean? Like, okay. And shout out to Jabad. Jabad said black people literally use social media like a diary. And the thing is that we ain't the only ones that do that. What we need to start doing is we need to start all lives mattering everything negative that we do the same way that everybody else does. And then all of the good shit that we do, claim that shit as black people do that shit exclusively. So to me, right, I would say that, quote unquote, all people literally use social media like a diary, because white people and Asians and Arabs literally think that world star hip hop is a mainstream way of life for black people. Where did you get this shit from? World star hip hop. Oh, okay. How are you doing? I'm new to the country. I noticed that you are black. How many felonies do you have? I don't have any felonies. Where'd you get? Oh, what is sound of hip hop? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, alrighty then. That's what we dealing with. How many crime have you committed today? I haven't committed any crimes today. Why do you think I committed a crime? Because I listen to a lot of rap music. You ever heard of 50 Cent? 50 Cent is two things. The first is 50 Cent is my favorite rapper. And the second is that 50 Cent is the highest amount of a loan that I will give out. Huh. Okay. All right. Here's my question. Does anybody see a problem with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, does anybody see a problem with that? Just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, little tiny problem. That's how you get Trump here saying this kind of crazy shit right here. His indictments and his mugshots are helping him win black voters. Let me ask you guys a question. What are Trump's indictments and his mugshots going to do for you as far as producing policy? So what we got is Trump. See, I'm gonna tell you something. Trump used them silly tactics to get white people to vote for him. All I got to do is just be as extreme and as racist as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And the no front teeth rule meth smoking crowd to come out and vote for me. He trying to do the same thing with the Maury crowd. He's trying to do that same thing with the Maury crowd and the emotionally unstable crowd. I'm so mad at the Democrats that I'm just finna do anything. Shout out to my man Grind and Motivate. It's people out shout out to my man Grind and Motivate. It's people out here so mad at the Democrats, they willing to toot up for any damn body. Yeah. Getting down to dangerous times, getting down to dangerous policies, getting down to dangerous rhetoric, getting down to reflex thinking. Now we're up here putting words in people's mouths that they haven't said. Them Republicans gonna do something for us. No, they're not. No, they're not. Shout out to DeAndre. What are the Republicans gonna give you? Not a damn thing. That's what they've been to give you. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Republicans gonna hit you with.
What kind of shit is that?
That's what they gonna hit you with. And I gotta agree, bro. Shout out to Patrick. Mad at the Democrats, damn. But I know the Republicans are no better. Facts. Facts. People out here considering voting for this person right here that sits up there and equates the value of our votes to relating to some degeneracy that he's alleged to be in.
What kind of shit is that?
Shout out to them cats from down south, man. Get the hell on. Get the hell on, Trump. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell on. And now he said this to black conservatives. Black conservatives. He said this to black conservatives. These black conservatives, these supposed to be the good Negroes that make the white people happy and feel safe. They relating to mugshots? Gregory Foreman, what you been doing, bruh? You relate to a mugshot? Candace Owens, you got you a little mugshot? What you looking like in it? Did you have your hair in a bun? Officer Tatum, you relate to a mugshot? Larry Elder, you relate to a mugshot? Larry Elder probably do because he'd be whooping females' asses. Herschel Walker, never mind. He whoops females' asses too. I forgot. Shout out to AV Promotion. That's what I knew it was a reason why you like Charleston White, bro. AV Promotion said, as a black person, I always choose who I will vote for based on their mug shot. Charleston White. yeah. That nigga Trump got a mug shot. Yeah. You know I'm voting because all y'all nigga got a mug shot. You know I relate to that shit. Yeah. That nigga Trump got a mug shot. He got my motherfucking vote. Hell yeah. He gonna make more niggas have mug shots. Yeah. Shout out to Charleston White, crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? yeah. Trump, that nigga Trump got my vote. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get all them tax benefits, you know. Oh man. So he said this to the Black Conservative Federation, though, and they just sat there and clapped. Yeah, we all got mugshots. All them black conservative pookies sat up there. You know, if you watch black conservatives, they be the most aggressive on panel discussions and live streams, just violent, yelling at people. Officer Tatum threatened to beat up Hotep Jesus. They're so violent and weird. You guys notice that? The black conservatives, that's probably why they relate to this, because a lot of black conservatives, Jesse Lee Peterson is a weirdo, certified. Them black conservatives probably really relate to the mugshot thing. Would you guys agree? In a speech to the black conservative, now he said this to the good Negroes. Former President Donald J. Trump made express overtures to black voters whom he and his campaign are eager to win over. How eager are they? If you're eager to win it over, that reparations checks should come with a Donald J. Trump signature on them, right? If you that eager, them banknotes should have a Donald J. Trump signature on them if you're that damn eager. Former President Donald J. Trump, in a speech to a black conservative group on Friday night, said he believed that the 4 criminal cases he is facing have earned him support from black voters because they saw the historic unfairness of the justice system reflected in his legal woes. Now, shout out to Torian Rain, because Torian Rain just recently did a live stream that gave the history of when black people were ousted from the Republican Party. And at I want to say towards the end of that stream, Torian had read a Pew Research study that talked about worldviews that are shared by black conservatives. Most black conservatives don't believe in discrimination. So what black conservative is aligning with Trump on the basis of discrimination? How? You don't believe in discrimination. You can't relate on that level. How can Tim Scott relate to Donald Trump on the basis of discrimination relating to Trump on? Exactly. Shout out to Jab Bad. How come white people don't ask black conservatives if all lives matter? Why does it matter if you're a black conservative or not? Aren't you just a conservative? How come nobody ever asked that? Why is it? How are you not a race hustler if you identify as a black conservative? Isn't that somehow appealing to white people's beliefs that there's no people who aren't conservative that aren't white? Isn't that race hustling? Hey, look, I'm black and I'm a conservative. I believe like you. Isn't that a race hustle? These are the very people that sit there and call everybody else a race hustler for actually talking about shit that involves their race. Here's my question. How come people don't ask these questions? So now here it says, I think that's why black people are so much on my side now. Mr. Trump said, so what I find, I don't know, I guess I would say unfortunate is that you're, I don't know what's more unfortunate. The fact that Trump is actually dropping the bag, or the fact that there are black people actually supporting this. Trump is in a unique situation where, like, he actually could get black support. But he's failing miserably. Again, I got to ask the question, what good does it do if Trump tells Charlie Kirk to calm his rhetoric down while Trump ignores black conservatives? Black conservatives like Greg Foreman and Officer Tatum and Candace Owens, Larry Elder, they're all worse. They are all worse than Charlie Kirk. They are all more problematic than Charlie Kirk. Sorry, Charlie, you got outdid by black people again. The black conservatives spit more harmful rhetoric than you. Sorry, buddy, you got outcompeted again. I mean, I hate to say it, man. Sometimes just being talented is just a curse. Black people are so good at everything. We're even better at anti-black racism than white people are. Sorry, Charlie. Which one of the reasons why they more problematic than, you know, Charlie Kirk or Matt Walsh or any of those guys who's not really a factor like that. Now, that's some damn talent right there. I mean, boxing, golf. You know what I'm saying? Tennis, anti-black racism. We win at every damn thing. Even the shit we ain't got no business winning at. How is it that you a better anti-black racist than the white people? That's just that natural talent. You're just using it for the wrong shit. But because that talent is being weaponized against us, we got to deal with you. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said Black Conservative Perspective didn't make any videos about what Trump said. That's because, you know, there's probably some teenager who stole some clothes from Target in Chicago that he got to make a video about, because that's the end of the world and it's a threat to white people. You know what I'm saying? You know what else Black Conservative Perspective didn't make a video about? He didn't make a video about that white boy that put his dad's head in a clear trash bag. Turned his dad into a garbage pail adult. He didn't say any, he didn't make a video about that. Let me ask you guys this question. Don't Black conservatives tend to try to separate themselves from these people who have things like mugshots and shady backgrounds? None of them saw the need to correct Trump and say, hey, man, you're at the Black Conservative Convention. Do you understand that we are Poindexters and coons? We see ourselves as better than other Black people, and we don't engage in any of that kind of stuff. You know, the rap music thing and all of that. Why are you talking to us about mug shots? You notice none of them said anything about that. Why do you guys think that they didn't say anything about that? Did they forget? Having a bout of dementia like Wendy Williams or what? So now here it says Mr. Trump said at a gala hosted by the Black Conservative Federation in Columbia, South Carolina, because they see what's happening to me happens to them. Does that make sense? Motherfucker, does it make sense to you? Does it make sense? Does that make sense to you? At another point in his speech, he suggested that Black voters had warmed to him because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against, and they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. It's what's amazing is Trump is just amazing for all the wrong reasons. Hey, man, you know what? Trump should have just kept it a buck. When he was at that Black Conservative convention, he was sitting up there like this.
Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots!
And anytime he's around Tim Scott, he be sitting up there talking about this.
Why are you gay?
Come on. Come on, man. Let's cut the games. can, can we cut the games, please? Mr. Trump has long used law and order to rally his conservative base, as well as coded racist language to attack political opponents. His comments on Friday came in a speech filled with express overtures toward black voters, a group that has overwhelmingly voted Democrat for decades, but whose support he and his campaign are eager to win. As the former president has shifted his focus from the Republican primary, where he is the dominant frontrunner, to the general election, he has increasingly included mentions of black voters in his speeches. Typically, Mr. Trump claims Black American fared better economically under his administration than under President Biden's. He also asserted that the influx of migrants at the southern border is disproportionately hurting black workers who face the threat of losing their jobs to immigrants willing to work for lower wages. That doesn't address the problem. Trump, by saying that, is that right there should validate for everyone that Trump's main goal is to preserve white economic supremacy. Right, exactly, John. Facts. It's wild what comes out of this man's mouth. And this is who they want us to vote for. Shaking my head. Couch 2024. Facts. Now, let me ask you guys, here's the problems, right? And I've mentioned this before, but people don't like my shit. You know what I'm saying? He asserted that the influx of migrants at the southern border is disproportionately hurting black workers. Here's the issue. Why do we have so many black workers? We have to exchange. We have to swap out the number of black voters there are for black business owners. And we have to swap out the number of black business owners for black industry leaders that there are. We should not be working low-wage jobs. We should be owning businesses. We should be benefiting from the migrant crisis, undercutting white businesses, hiring in these migrants, working cheap for us. That's what the situation should be. Anytime you're in a competition where it's pure economics, this is basically black market conditions, supply and demand. If there's too many workers, the price goes down. The people who accept the lowest price get the job. It's economics, supply and demand. That's why you take yourself out of that situation and own the business. Own the business. As much as people sit there and talk about how they're bosses, if we were all bosses like that, then we wouldn't be worried about the migrant crisis. We'd be trying to figure out how we could get some busloads of migrants shipped to our business so we could pay them $1 an hour. Sweatshop conditions. We shouldn't be working the sweatshop conditions. We should be hiring people for the sweatshop conditions. How many people agree we should not be working low-wage jobs? We should be working, if we're going to be working, we should be working high-end competitive jobs. And if we're not going to be working, we should be owning businesses. The fact that Trump doesn't lead with changing from you being an employee to you being a business owner, that tells you exactly what he wants to maintain and preserve. So now here it says, but Friday's speech saw Mr. Trump tailor his remarks specifically to black voters. In particular, He married one of the central grievances animating his campaign. The 91 felony counts that he faces are the work of politically motivated prosecutors and an unfair justice system with a race-based appeal. I'm sorry, man. Listen, man, if anybody black buys that nonsense, I don't know what to say, really. Shout out to Patrick Taylor. I saw your comment about the McDonald's, bro. Did you know that? I think it's in Texas. They got fully automated McDonald's. So again, this is one of the reasons why I keep saying, once we get through the migrant crisis, we still got to worry about the AI employment apocalypse, because that's coming for the leftover jobs that the migrant crisis don't wipe out. We shouldn't be working those jobs. Every equation has an answer. Shout out to my man Dark Side. Dark Side, always trying to find the anti-life equation. We got to find the answer to the anti-black equation. We got to find the answer to the anti-black equation. And the answer to the anti-black equation is money, power, and resources. It is a function of MPR, money, power, and resources. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick says blacks are going to be locked out of the entire economy. This is what the Dems are working on. Here's my question. How are black people trying to lock themselves into the economy? One reason why what you're saying is going on is because if you listen to the content that most people make, the content that most people make is complaining about what people are doing to us. There's not a lot of content about moves we plan on making on people. I talk about moves to make on people. But people don't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really into that. The data don't lie. The data don't lie. So this is what we got to contend with and deal with. We got to contend with and deal with a reality that most people do not see being locked out and blocked out as an issue. The same way that the majority of people didn't see being a toilet bowl scrubber as an issue until the migrant crisis and the AI apocalypse is here. Yeah, Lobo, facts. Shout out to Jab Bad. Locked out, blocked out. We can lock ourselves in by taking over an entire industry and becoming industry specialists and locking others out of that industry. Look at Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Look at entertainment. Look at media. There's a lot of business sectors that are ethnically locked in, that have other people as a majority locked out. Shout out to Patrick. Here's the thing though, right? Literally everybody has done the whole wait till next year thing until it's too late. So the thing is, right? At the end of the day, who's responsible? There's a whole entire wealth transfer that's taking place right now with cryptocurrency. And you've got people trying to intimidate people from exploring the cryptocurrency market. Who's making those choices, bro? Bitcoin got a lifetime return, I want to say, of like 30,000%. People chose and continue to choose not to invest in that sector. I don't know what to say. People have become billionaires on cryptocurrency, and you still have people out there saying it's a scam. You got people sitting up there saying that black people need to get into artificial intelligence and then turn around and tell you not to get into cryptocurrency when cryptocurrency is based on artificial intelligence. It's that same, those are the same people that tell you everything that's going on in the white community, but at the same time will tell you not to deal with any white people. So how do they know what's going on in the white community? Where are they getting their firsthand information from? Right. I agree. Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Again, I agree. They will tell you it's a scam to keep you out. Now, here goes my question. The same, we got to ask the training day question, the Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke question. Who's putting a gun to anybody's head to make them listen? I don't care what anybody says about cryptocurrency because I've been invested in cryptocurrency since 2017, and I know how much money I've made off of cryptocurrency. I know how much money I made just within the last 2 weeks. And if anybody doesn't believe me about just within the last 2 weeks, you can ask AB Promotions, you can ask Win Loser Rug, or you can ask anybody in here that also invests in cryptocurrency. If you've got over $1,000 invested in cryptocurrency, you did good over the last 2 weeks. But it's a scam. Bitcoin was about $1 in 2012, I want to say. It's now close to worth $60,000. If people had started investing in like 2012, there's literally nobody who would have lost money anywhere at all. Literally just in the last 2 weeks, if you had a decent sized cryptocurrency portfolio, at the very least, you probably made $500. I'm gonna actually get back. It's so much stuff going on in the news, Patrick. It's been hard for me to do any other content besides like the election stuff and the migrant stuff. But I plan on doing I plan on getting back into the cryptocurrency streams. I had a whole stream last week when when Bitcoin hit 45,000, and I didn't get a chance to do it because of all the crazy shit coming out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely gonna get back on Tales from the Cryptocurrency. I got a channel called Tales from the Cryptocurrency, and it's playlist on BLR1 called Tales from the Cryptocurrency. Check those bad boys out. But yeah, anybody that's in crypto right now will tell you over the last 2 weeks, yeah, they probably made some decent money. You know what I'm saying? Probably made some decent money. It's not a scam. There's some cryptocurrencies that are scams. The same way there's some emails that are scams. The same way that there's some Cash App schemes, PayPal schemes. what I'm saying? But the entirety of cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin is now listed as a commodity by the SEC. It's a commodity, just like gold. It's freaking Ethereum and Bitcoin are classified as commodities like gold and silver. You know what I'm saying? It's not a scam. You know what I mean? I don't know why. Like, I don't know why when people sit there and holler that cryptocurrency is a scam, again, why doesn't YouTube correct that misinformation? Because that's misinformation. If cryptocurrency was a scam, the SEC wouldn't even allow it to be listed as a commodity. Same way a lot of companies are zombie corporations. Facts. The same way a lot of zombie cryptocurrencies come up where people try to do the pump and dump schemes. Nobody's saying that it's not a possibility that you can get scammed by people using cryptocurrency as a vehicle to scam. But overall, the cryptocurrency market under lawful circumstances is not a scam. I don't know why people keep saying that. And then people say crazy shit like if you're a cryptocurrency advocate that you're advocating for people to get their reparations in cryptocurrency. I've never said that ever. If you, Patrick, I want you to do me a favor. Stop right now. Go and Google the price of Bitcoin in 2010 and go and Google the price of Bitcoin today. Anybody in the comment section is welcome to do that as well. Google the price in 2010 and then Google the price of it today. If you had have bought $5 worth of Bitcoin in 2010, $5 worth, and sat on it, you would probably be a millionaire today. I'd be going back through all my old computer hard drives to see if I got like any type of wallet or any, bro, listen, shit, you know what I'm saying? There used to be a site called, damn, I forget the name. It was a crypto exchange, and I actually had some Ethereum on there. I had some Ethereum on there that I had bought for like $79, man. When I opened up that wallet, I was like, ooh, let me hurry up and get this shit off of here. You know what I'm saying? So look at this. At one point, Mr. Trump brought up the mugshot that was taken of him last August when he was indicted in Georgia on charges tied to his efforts to overturn the 2020 election loss in that state. The Trump campaign has used the photo in fundraising efforts and has it plastered on apparel, as have a number of independent vendors from across the political spectrum. Mr. Trump noted that Black people had been wearing shirts with his booking photo. Mr. Trump asked the crowd, the Black, you know who embraced it the most? The Black population. Now, a few crazy people wearing a shirt with your damn mugshot on it don't mean that they embraced. That don't mean that they embraced your criminal ass. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said, trust me, I passed on Bitcoin at 700 because I thought I was too late. My thing has since been never believe it's too late, bro. Never. Listen, the halving is about to come up. They say that by the end of this year, it's possible Bitcoin could hit 150,000. And by the way that it's going, because usually it's only February. Usually crypto would be back into the bull market, or back into the bear market by now. Like usually, you know what I'm saying? It's not doing this good. It usually goes really high toward the end of the year, and then starting at the beginning of the year, that's when it starts to go back down and crash. This is different behavior than it has for at least like the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Beach Material. Beach Material said, I'm late, but did you guys talk about Cardano at all? No, I didn't talk about Cardano. But I tell you what, though, I got M.A.G.A.TRON, and that shit, I got a lot of M.A.G.A.TRON, bro. And that shit just hit over $1 today. That shit just hit over $1 today. And I tell you what, I got a whole bunch of Crypterium that I bought when Crypterium had the ICO, and it's on a damn MetaMask wallet somewhere. I gotta find that. I gotta get my damn 16 letter or my damn 16 word combination and try to figure out where that damn wallet is so I could transfer that shit. But yeah, man, listen, bruh. Solana staying over 100. That shit, Solana might be at $500 a pop by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? If M.A.G.A.TRON go to $10 a pop, listen, y'all not gonna see me on YouTube no more, man. I'm done. Oh, that's crazy, DC. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. If Solana go to 500 by the end of the year, and if Cosmos go to 20, I'm out the game. Like Jay-Z said, I'ma back out it as the best YouTuber alive, nigga. Ask about me. I'ma back out it for real. Like, man, y'all ain't gonna see me no more. Y'all gonna be like, damn, what the hell? I'm about to discontinue my membership. What the hell? Oh man. Man, listen, it's coming, bro. That is on the horizon. It's coming. If it don't come this year, it's coming next year. It's just a matter of when, not if. Listen, if Bitcoin behaves the way that they expect it to at the halving, the boost in the price of Bitcoin is going to skyrocket all of the altcoins. Even if they performing shitty, they still going to go up just because Bitcoin is the undercurrent. You will mess around and have 10-cent Shiba. You know what I'm saying? If Shiba goes to 10 cents, man, I got Bill Gates money. I'm gonna have motherfucking, I can create I got conspiracy theory elites money if Shiba go to 10 cents. They're gonna be making YouTube. I'm gonna go from a YouTuber to people making YouTube videos about me. What they don't want you to know about Rob and the next scamdemic. What they don't want you to know about Rob and why he just bought an underground bunker. Those are the, if Shiba goes to 10 cents, those are the type of videos y'all finna see on YouTube. Who is Blacklight Revelations and why did he just buy a small island? Who is Blacklight Revelations and why does he now own New Zealand? Yeah, that's that shit that I'm on. They gonna be making the YouTube videos with my profile picture with the Illuminati eye in the middle of the forehead. They sure are. So listen, man. Trump is an idiot. That's the takeaway. You know what I'm saying? I got to get ready to bizounce. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate each and every one of y'all for checking out the stream. Make sure y'all smash the like. Make sure y'all leave comments. Make sure y'all hit the bell. Make sure y'all are subbed up to all of my channels. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,